Hello and welcome. My name is Colin Anderson and I'm the sound designer on KIWF2. Today I'm in Unreal Engine 5 showing a little bit of the project, showing the ambient system I created for this particular level in KIWF2. This level is called Rancho Saguaro. It's our Wild West themed level. And I had a lot of fun doing the ambiences for it, so I wanted to show a little bit of that. So first, to explain my system, I've got a few things going on. Mainly, there is this 2D ambience that I've just placed inside the level. It doesn't have any attenuation, so you're going to be hearing it anywhere outside in this level, and even a little bit inside. So these yellow boxes that we're seeing around all the buildings, these are different audio volumes I've placed to the shape of the building so that when you walk in, the ambience changes. So you'll still actually hear some of this outdoor wind ambience, but it's going to be muffled and it's going to have a low pass filter on it. So here, for example, we can see those settings of the ambient volume. This is for the general store. So once you enter, there's going to be a half-second fade in to the new volume and to the low pass filter, and so the volume is lowering to 75%, and we're getting this exterior low pass filter as well that's getting added. So that will sound different as you enter into the store. And the last thing that my system has is lots of 3D ambiences as well, coming from different objects or different areas in the level. So for example, we have a lot of spots of, some vegetation throughout the level, and I wanted these to sound a little bit different. We got some, dry spaces where there's just, dirt and sand, so there's not much life there. But in these spots of vegetation, I wanted there to be some insect noises. So if we find just a random one here, I've placed a loop. It's called just insect loop that plays in this general area. There's a ton of these around, so you'll be hearing some general insects in these areas, and these spheres around the sound are its attenuation. So you're going to hear it in that general range. So that one's just a simple loop. That one's easy to put in. But we also wanted to have some ambient one-shots going. Things like birds or wooden creaks, metal creaks, different things that I didn't want to just be repeating on a loop in the same sequence every time. I wanted it to be more random and realistic than that. So to do that, we created this blueprint. We've called it Random Ambient Sound. And basically, it's just getting a delay and letting us add a minimum and maximum amounts to the delay range. So the delay is going to be randomized to whatever settings we put it on, and it's going to play the sound at location. So let me show you an instance of where we use this. Here, I've put it in the level. This is for our outdoor bird sounds. Now, we don't actually have any physical birds in the level that I can attach these sounds to, but it seemed like a really good sound I would need for this kind of wild western type environment. So I have some, let me pull up this sound. I've got a selection of sound files. These are all just different one-shots of bird sounds, and they're randomized, and they have a little bit of modulation for pitch and volume on them as well. And so this blueprint is going to play those sounds randomly, and going to play them at a delay of anywhere between 6 and 20 seconds. And this sound is not spatialized. It does have some volume attenuation, so you'll hear it generally kind of coming from above you, but you're not really going to be able to pinpoint exactly where it is, which I wanted because like I said, we don't have any physical birds in the level. So I have a few of these spaces in the game, in the level, a few of these bird sounds that are playing these one shots, and they've got a pretty large attenuation radius around them. Another thing I wanted to show is got the same thing on the windmill, some random metal creaks playing at a random interval, random delay range between 5 and 12 seconds. And there's a lot of other small things, but for now I want to just show what the level sounds like. I've muted the music, and so I'll just kind of go through and explain as we listen. I recommend listening with headphones because a lot of these sounds are pretty subtle and quiet, and you're not really going to be able to hear them without headphones. So let's go ahead and start this. So we start in an indoor space. We can hear some muffled wind from outside and some wooden creaks as well. We're going to also hear some random spider noises throughout the level because that's just a regular part of this game. As we walk outside, we have some of our cactar friends. We've got some ambient sounds coming from them too. And now we have our wind at our full volume. As we walk towards some of this vegetation, we'll slowly start to hear some insects fade in. Again, they're not, super spatialized, so you're not going to be able to tell exactly where they're coming from. They're just kind of coming from this general area. As we get closer to the trees, we'll hear some wind through the leaves. And as we get closer to these buildings, we'll start to hear some wooden creaks. All these buildings are wooden, presumably a little bit old, so we're going to be hearing a little bit of sounds from them. So as we just walked in, we heard a transition from the outdoor, wind ambience levels to now it's got its low pass filter. It's quieter. We're hearing some various spiders in here as well. So now our wind's back at its full volume. We're hearing some insects from all this vegetation around. There's some birds above us, occasionally going off. So now as I get towards our mine, there's a different ambience I have for that space. It's not going to be playing the outdoor wind ambience. But one thing I want to point out is also the difference in reverb. All of my indoor spaces have different reverb settings. So for example, if we hear our gun sound outside, it's pretty dry. But as we go inside, it's going to have some more reverb. So we just heard a smooth transition to a new cave ambience. We're not hearing the outdoor ambience anymore. But as I shoot the gun, we're going to hear our new reverb settings for this medium-sized space. So it's got a little bit of reverb with it now. And I'm just going to walk through this teleporter, get us to another part of the level. Ow! Oh, you! So here we're getting some more insects or wind, and also some of our windmill sounds. So that's all I wanted to show right now. There's a lot more going on in this level, a lot more things I could have shown, but for the sake of time, that is essentially the system I have going for the ambience in this level, and a large part of how I'm doing the ambience for the rest of the game. But at the time of recording this, The game is still in development. This level is still somewhat in development, so some of the things you may see in here are not going to be part of the final game probably, but it'll be pretty close. But that is pretty much my system. Thank you for sticking around for the whole video. Hope you liked it. Hope you got something from it. So thanks for watching.